At his peak, John D. Rockefeller controlled 90% of all oil refining in the United States. He was worth $482 in today's money, more than Elon Musk, more than Jeff Bezos, more than anyone alive today. The US government spent years trying to destroy his empire. They broke it into 3 to 4 separate companies, and it still made him richer. We think of monopolies as something that gets stopped, that governments step in, break them up, restore competition. The Standard Oil story teaches us something far more uncomfortable, that a company can become so powerful, so deeply embedded in the economy, that even breaking it apart only multiplies its power. This is the story of the most successful business empire in American history, and the lesson it still holds for the corporate empires of today. Right. But to understand Standard Oil, you have to understand the world Rockefeller was born into. Not a world of wealth, a world of chaos. John D. Rockefeller was born in 1839 in upstate New York. His father was a traveling salesman, a con man who sold fake cancer cures and bigamously married 2 women. Young John learned early that the world was unreliable, and he responded by becoming the most methodical, disciplined businessman America had ever produced. At 16, he got his first job as a bookkeeper. He tracked every cent he earned, every cent he spent, a practice he maintained for his entire life. In 1859, oil was discovered in Pennsylvania. The first American oil boom began. Thousands of men rushed to drill. The early oil business was chaos. Prices swung wildly, wells flooded the market 1 month, dried up the next. Fortunes were made, and saw an opportunity, not in drilling oil, that was too unpredictable, in refining it. In 1870, he founded Standard Oil of Ohio. His goal was simple: control the refining, control the railroads that transported it, control the pipelines that moved it, control everything between the oil in the ground and the lamp in someone's home. And here's how Rockefeller did it. Not through innovation, not through better technology, through something far more powerful: secret deals. Rockefeller went to the railroads with an offer they couldn't refuse. Standard Oil would guarantee enormous, consistent volumes of shipments. In return, the railroads would give Standard secret rebates, discounts on shipping rates, rates that competitors couldn't access. So when a competing refinery shipped oil by rail, they paid full price. When Standard Oil shipped oil, they paid a fraction, and Standard received drawbacks, a portion of what competitors paid on top of their own discounts. Every barrel a competitor shipped made Standard Oil richer. This practice, called the South Improvement Company scheme, was eventually exposed and shut down, but Rockefeller had tasted what total market control felt like, and he never stopped pursuing it. Through a series of acquisitions, mergers, and aggressive pricing, selling oil below cost in markets he wanted to control until competitors surrendered, Standard Oil consumed rival after rival. By 1979, Standard Oil controlled 90% of U.S. oil refining capacity. It owned 20 miles of pipeline. It had its own barrel factories, its own railroad tank cars, its own fleet of ships. It set the price of oil for the entire nation, and Rockefeller, the son of a conman from upstate New York, was the most powerful businessman in the world. In 1984, a journalist named Ida Tarbell published a series of articles in McClure's magazine, 19 articles, over 2 years, exposing every secret deal, every railroad rebate, every destroyed competitor. It was one of the most devastating pieces of investigative journalism in American history, and it changed everything. In 1906, President Theodore Roosevelt filed an antitrust suit against Standard Oil. In 1911, Supreme Court ruled unanimously Standard Oil was an illegal monopoly. It was broken into 34 separate companies. Among them, Standard Oil of New Jersey, Standard Oil of New York, Standard Oil of California, Standard Oil of Indiana. You may know their modern names: ExxonMobil, Mobil, Chevron, Amoco. The breakup was meant to restore competition, to end Rockefeller's stranglehold on American energy. What actually happened was extraordinary. After the breakup, the stock prices of all 34 companies rose dramatically as investors recognized their true underlying value. Rockefeller owned shares in all 34. He was worth $300 million at the time of the breakup. Within 2 years, he was worth $900 million. The government's attempt to destroy Standard Oil had tripled Rockefeller's personal fortune. In today's money, 438 billion Rockefellers. more than anyone on earth today. And the lesson was clear. When you build something that becomes truly essential to the world, governments can reorganize its structure, but they cannot eliminate the power that flows from controlling what the world depends on. John D. Rockefeller lived to 97. He spent the last 40 years of his life giving away money, 530 million in total. He founded the University of Chicago. He created the Rockefeller Foundation. He funded medical research that led to the elimination of hookworm in the American South. The man who built the most ruthless monopoly in American history spent his final decades trying to atone for it. Standard Oil is gone, but ExxonMobil and Chevron, two of its 34 successor companies, are still among the most powerful corporations on earth. The East India Company was broken by the British government. Standard Oil was broken by the American government. BlackRock has never been broken. History suggests that the corporate empires that matter most are the ones governments aren't yet willing to touch. Subscribe to Empire Collapse, because the most powerful monopoly in history only got stronger when the government tried to stop it.